for both immediate and general support, which are on the screen right now. Some resources for immediate support include Star-Vista 24/7 Crisis Hotline at 650-579-0350, the Trevor Project 212-695-8650, and RAIN, National Sexual Assault Hotline at 1-800-656-4673.
And we have resources for general support, which include wellness counselors, primary care physician, therapists or psychiatrists, and adolescent counseling services.
Hi, my name is Isabella Chan, and as a HAP-Y Youth Ambassador for Star-Vista, I am presenting in place of my coordinator, Brenda Nunez, who unfortunately has COVID right now and can't come to Mills to present. I'm sure you are all aware that it is Suicide Prevention Month, and I want to introduce Star-Vista to you. One of the reasons why we have historically held the Mental Health Assembly in September is because September is National Suicide Prevention Month. We can all contribute to bring awareness and prevent suicide. It can start with education and self-awareness. These can reduce stigma attached to mental health and seeking support. When we work together towards reducing the stigma attached to mental health and suicide, we can increase opportunity for people to openly talk about their struggles and seek support. To explain, Star-Vista is a crisis center that provides many resources for teens and adults in San Mateo County. If you or anyone you know is experiencing trauma or needs support, Star-Vista is there for you. An example of a program under Star-Vista is Daybreak. It is a transitional housing program that provides independent living skills, training, and mental health support for homeless teens aged at 16 through 21. Transitional youth services include housing or rental assistance and supportive case management services for qualified former foster care and probation youth aged at 18 through 24. Youth participating in this program are required to work and/or go to school while learning independent living skills. So, who should call the crisis line? Anyone who feels sad, hopeless, or suicidal. Family and friends who are concerned about a loved one. Anyone interested in mental health treatment and service referrals, or anyone who just needs some support through a personal crisis. When you call, you'll be connected to a trained professional who will listen to you without prejudice. You can speak your truth and get support. A trained crisis worker at your local center will answer the phone. And a reminder that there are also resources available to you on campus if you're experiencing an immediate need. If you or someone you know is ever struggling with feeling sad, hopeless, or wanting to hurt themselves at school, please tell an adult immediately. Wellness counselors are trained to support you or your friend through these difficult situations. If you don't feel you're able to tell an adult immediately, you can always submit an anonymous alert which lets counselors know that a student is struggling and could use a check-in to make sure they're safe and supported. Finally, we want to share some myths versus facts about suicide. 1. If I ask someone about suicide, I'm making it more likely they will become suicidal. This is a myth. Talking about suicide makes it more heard and helps people know that you are someone who acknowledges it and wants to help. 2. Suicide can be prevented. People can be helped. This is a fact. Suicide is one of the most preventable forms of death. Learning to identify the signs, asking directly about suicide, providing your support, and finding professional support can help in preventing suicide. We heard this myth for dozens of years. The myth being that you can't stop someone who wants to die by suicide. Although we cannot control anyone's life completely, what we do know is that suicidal distress comes in waves. And if we help someone through the peak of their suicide crisis, we can help them stay safe and prevent them from ending their life. 3, most suicides happen suddenly without warning. This is also a complete myth. Verbal or behavioral signs precede most suicides. This is why it is important to educate ourselves on the warning signs that are associated with suicide. You can learn these by visiting suicideispreventable.org. Remember, there are many ways to cope when you are feeling overwhelmed. Here are some that could work for you, including staying active, sleeping often, breathing exercises, expressing your emotions through journaling, talking to someone, or therapy, taking breaks, and engaging in activity that brings you joy. And also note that there are a lot of support on campus and in the community. Thank you.